Let's make things interesting. It's the third week of Inktober, and this time it's a random colour challenge. This might get a little weird. Of course we need some water. In the same sketchbook for the third week of Inktober. We are starting the third week of Inktober with prompt number 15, Ragged. That's a difficult one. Okay, shut the eyes. What colours are we gonna get? First up, let's go right to the bottom because I have no clue what's in these boxes. The Winsor & Newton ones are very hidden. Vermilion, ultramarine, and a bright yellow. Is this gonna work? I guess they are pretty much primaries, so maybe we can work with this. Let's first start with the sky using the wet on wet technique, which I've been absolutely loving for Inktober. I'm not saying that adding ink to water like this is making it look like a sky, but it does look pretty. Although it's a little bit weird there at the top. I don't really know what's going on. We're making the most of it. Making clouds, can't really dab any of it away. Can we add water? Nah, that's not really doing anything. For the prompt Ragged, we are creating a landscape. I'm not gonna lie, I really struggled with this prompt. It's a difficult prompt. I googled it and it said that sometimes coastlines are ragged. Basically, as long as it doesn't have a smooth edge, it counts. So that's what we're doing. We've got the sky, we've got the sea, they're kind of blending together, and the vermilion is very bright. But hopefully when we mix in the other colours, it will become a little bit more muted. Because every primary mixed together is basically going to make brown. We don't want brown though, I do like using really bright colours. So we're going to loosely add the yellow and not actually mix them together on the paper, just see how it dries. Now, the Winsor & Newton drawing inks are a little bit weird. You can't really layer them because it almost reactivates what's already down. So the only thing we can pop on top is the acrylic inks to add a little bit of line work to this, a little bit of a border. Try and make it look a bit more like water. I'm on the fence with this piece. What do you think? Do you like it? Continuing the tricky prompts. 16 is blunder. Let's keep this simple. First up, we have purple. Second is yellow. Chartreuse. Though looking at this sketch now, I think we might need a little bit more. Neither of these are gonna work very well for line work. So let's grab an India ink. This one is purple. And if we go in first with this, this is waterproof. So when we add all of that mess on top, this isn't gonna budge at all. And you might be wondering what you're looking at. The prompt is blunder. And the biggest thing that kept coming up was chess. The king is in the middle, upset. Chessboard is all around, but it's actually like he's almost drowning in it. Maybe this is deeper than I thought it was. Well, anyway, let's go in with yellow. Colour that first square, the second square, and I'm realising I've made a huge mistake. It's yellow, purple, yellow, purple. Ah, we need another line. How did I miss it? Ignore the size differences. We are winging this line. The boxes are all different sizes, but at this point, we just need to do what we can. Simple mistake, very easy to make. Didn't cross my mind. Well, now that the chessboard is half done, let's move on to purple. And if I remember from the Peachtober 24-hour challenge we did recently, this purple doesn't look purple. It looks pink. It's a little bit odd because on the front of the box, it looks like a really rich purple, yet this is crazy different. I'm not mad, but I think if it was a little bit closer to what's on the box, it might have blended better with the India ink because that is a rich purple, and also yellow and purple are complementary colours, so this leaning a little bit pink doesn't really work as well. Still, it's a crazy different idea. Also crazy that we almost got complementary colours from the random pick. Maybe the idea is a little bit darker than what I originally thought. I don't know why this always happens for Inktober. I thought we were safe using colours. And with that, we're on to 17. Ornate. That's hard. Oh, which are the next colours? Green. Why does this frog always come up? We've got a pink and red. Okay. I tell you, when we created this sketch in the prep video where we created all 62 prompts together, I was not picturing this color palette. They are complementary again, the pink and the green, which is really odd. But considering for ornate we are drawing a watch, I was picturing more like yellow, gold, something that looked a little bit more like old jewelry. It's inspired by vintage designs. So this is not what I had in mind. Also, you might be able to tell, all of that background was actually supposed to be separated areas. But look at those blooms. Look at the way the pink blends into the green with that edge. I could not cover that up. But we still need an acrylic ink. This line work is not it. Unfortunately, when certain types of ink go on top of other inks, they seem to spread on this handmade paper. And the only thing that doesn't really is acrylic inks. So we're gonna have to go over every single part again. I love the background. Not sure if I should have left it, but I just could not cover it. Prompt number 18, I am super excited for. It's Deal, and we're making a playing card inspired piece. We have brown going into green and brown. This color palette is crazy. I don't know why this is looking so patchy inside. Hopefully it's okay. Wish me luck with this one. Ooh, why are the lights off? We gotta fix that. We have 2 India inks, so those are gonna be used for the line work. That way they'll stay still when we pop a load of water on top. This idea is simple. 3 playing cards wrapped in vines, but it might be a little bit too simple. What if it doesn't look good? Wetting each of the individual playing cards and dropping some ink down. Trying to control exactly where it lands, but this is ink. There is only so much that you can do. It's a really tricky medium because you have to work fast, but also you kind of need to work slow enough for the water to seep into the paper to have a little bit more control. And hopefully this extra India ink is really going to bring back that line work that we lost. I do want to pop in here and say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you haven't seen already, there is a Patreon tree in the studio. I'll leave that video below if you haven't seen it. That's a fun one. The vines don't look like any vines in particular because there are also little flowers on them. But even though this is a simple design, I think it's turned out pretty cute. Love the green. Brown is an odd choice, but the random colors work. Inktober number 19 is Arctic. What's the next color? Brown? Why is it always brown? And also this, that looks different. We are attempting to draw a polar bear, almost negative space, in a moon. This is tricky. We only have 2 colors because last time was a little bit crazy. Let's go for a simpler color palette this time. Trying to contain everything in this circle, but the ink is drying so fast. It's patchy. Hopefully this weird color will fix it. I don't want to add too much to this. I kind of like that it doesn't look like it has line work, but it needs some texture. It is supposed to be a moon. And you wouldn't believe how fast we're working through this. You know, last week's prompts, we actually finished 7 in 1 day. That's the fastest I've ever completed art prompts. And even now we're still doing like 3 or 4 a day. This time round has been crazy. And with that, we're moving on to a fun one. Moving on to number 20, rivals. This is a very silly idea and I can't wait. Random, but wait. There are some colors we actually need. We need a red. Oh, we've got a purple to go with that. And the other one we do actually need is a yellow. So they're half random. Plus some acrylic inks for line work. All of these for this crazy idea. It's Herbie and Lightning McQueen. With every single one of these inks, and considering we're using inks, I have no clue how this is gonna go. because we're starting off with the wet on wet technique again. So somehow we're drawing two cars, but I want them to still look loose. So first up is the background, dropping in the purple and yellow. I love these complementary colors. They are my favorite. I actually completed an entire piece for Mermaid using just yellow and purple because they are iconic. Lightning McQueen from Cars needs to be red. And the classic Herbie is technically white. So of course we're just gonna add a little bit of yellow. Try to keep some of those bright highlights there, but make sure it does actually fit with the background and fit with the piece. The hardest part, painting the cars the correct color and controlling the ink drop. I don't want to have harsh edges. Ideally, I want it to still look fuzzy, and I think we actually achieved that. Like, look at the eyes. And finally, we're ending week 3 with Blast. For the final idea, we are reaching for tons of colors. Oh wait, there's 2? We have duplicates? I don't actually know because this is from the Facebook Marketplace haul. All of these are secondhand. Don't really know what's in there. This is the lineup. These colors are crazy. We've got watercolor inks, drawing inks, and India ink, wetting the page and dropping all of them in. Not a color palette I would choose, but most of this is actually going to get covered up. Still, I'm not so sure. I don't think the color combination is pretty, and it's pretty wet. Let's have a donut break. Oh, I'm also printing out the shop update. We have spooky stickers and little witch prints up on the shop now. Now for the big step. Is this going to work? It's a bright blue acrylic ink, dry brushed over the entire piece because we're painting a volcano with a little face that's actually exploding shapes instead of lava. I actually love this style, and I love all the colors you can see underneath. You know what? I think we're really getting there now. I am kind of in love with some of these pieces. They're a bit silly and the colors are a bit chaotic, but they're kind of cool, right? Let me know down below which one is your favorite, and I'll meet you back here on Sunday. Bye-bye.